All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the second part of the show, we are going to break down the Cowboys 2024 schedule. So let's get right into that. I know you guys saw it briefly before I started going into the last segment. So, yeah, you'll get to see it again and all its glory. So here is the Cowboys 2024 schedule. So they have a bye week, week 7. So I know yesterday when there was no week, I think it was no week 5, and I was like, yeah, that's because the Eagles don't have a bye week. Or they do have a bye week. It's that week. But, yeah, the Cowboys have a bye week, week 7. So this is their 2024 schedule. So they open up against the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland, and Tom Brady will be broadcasting that game with Kevin Burkhardt, because I know we talked about Brady a little bit in the last segment. But, yeah, this game could go either way, I feel like. And I could see, like I said, I could see it going either way. So, I don't know. I mean, Deshaun Watson's coming off of an injury. I'm going to say the Cowboys win this game. I'm going to say they win this game. I'm going to say they win a close game here. So they start off the season 1-0. Against the Saints at home, I'm going to say they win that. So the Cowboys start off 2-0. Ravens at home, I'm going to say that's a loss. So they're 2-1. You know, Lamar Jackson, the reigning MVP. I think the Ravens are a better team. So yeah, I got the Cowboys losing that. Against the Giants, week 4. I mean, what do you want me to say, guys? That's going to be a win for the Cowboys. So Cowboys are going to start off the year 3-1, so that's pretty good, right? Then the schedule gets tough. So then they're at the Steelers on the road. See, this is a tough stretch here. I'm going to say they win that game. So what do I have them at? Right now they're 4-1. Okay. So they're 4-1 right now. Then the Lions come to town. And now this is, if you remember, this was the second to last week of the regular season. It was that Saturday night game. And there was all that whole controversy at the end of the game when, the Lions, they went for 2 and they got it, but then the referee was saying that the offensive lineman didn't report as eligible, and there was that just whole thing of, then there was the video of them going over to the ref, and it was this whole thing, miscommunication, and the Cowboys ended up winning that game. I think the Lions are going to want to go in there and just show, like, hey, we're the better team, and we're going to prove it this time and get it done. And I think the Lions will win here. So that will be the Cowboys' second loss of the season. So it's now. So what do I got them at now? I got them at 5-2, right? No, 4-2. At the 49ers, I think that's a loss. You could just pencil that in as a loss. The 49ers own the Cowboys. I think that's going to continue in this game. So they're 4-3. At the Falcons, could be. I think this game will be close. But I think the Cowboys win that game. So now at this point they are 5-3. Eagles come to town. Listen, the Cowboys, I think them and the Eagles are going to split. So I think the Cowboys will take this one. So that'll get them to 6-3. Texans come to town. I'm going to give them a loss there. So 6-4. Then they go to the Commanders. I'm going to say the Commanders win that. Or no, I'm going to say the Cowboys win that. So they got 7 wins now. At the Giants come in. That's Thanksgiving. I pencil that in as a win. So that has them at 8-4. Then we got the Bengals. I'm going to give the Cowboys a loss there. Joe Burrow coming in. That should be a fun game. Now, a couple years ago when these teams played against each other, that was I think it was like week 3. And it was week 2 or week 3. And Cooper Rush was starting that game. The Cowboys won that. But hopefully we'll see, Dak playing in this. Dak should be playing in this game. Well, who knows if Joe Burrow is going to be playing in this game at this point. But, yeah, I think the Bengals, if they're healthy, the Bengals should win this game. Then they are at the Panthers. And the Cowboys dominated the Panthers last year in Carolina. I think the Cowboys win that one. So I'll give them a win there. I'll give them a win against Tampa. I'll give them a loss against the Eagles. And then I'll give them a win against the Commanders once again. So I got them winning at Cleveland, at the Saints, or home against the Saints, so that's 2. The Giants twice, so that's 4. I got them winning against Pittsburgh, so that's 5. The Falcons is 6. Eagles 7. Commanders twice, that's 9. Panthers is 10. So I got them at 11 wins. I think that's 11 wins. So 11-6. I think that's fair. Now, what's interesting is in our production meeting, it seems like some people aren't that high on the Cowboys this year. And look, I know the Cowboys didn't make a lot of moves this offseason, and I know I've talked about that plenty of times on the show. And there's some questions on their depth. And you got, CeeDee Lamb is not at OTAs, so, I mean, we'll see where that ends up. I mean, I don't anticipate he's going to miss, regular season games. I think the Cowboys are going to figure this out. But, I mean, I think the Cowboys are still going to be a good regular season team. I think they're going to be battling it out with the Eagles all year. And I think they get in as a wild card or they win the division. It's going to be one of the two. But I don't think because the Cowboys didn't make that many moves that they're just going to take this massive step back. Now, their schedule is is difficult. But I wasn't going to, that stretch between weeks 5 and 11, I wasn't going to pencil in a loss every single game. I think they're going to split with the Eagles. I think that, like I said, in Pittsburgh, I mean, listen, Pittsburgh's got a really good defense, but, I still have questions at the quarterback position with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. So I think they're gonna sweep the series between the Giants and the Commanders. I think they're gonna win those matchups. It's with the Eagles where I said that they're gonna split. So, I mean, that's just my opinion. But I think 11-6. I think that's fine for the Cowboys. I mean, last year what'd they go 12-5? So yeah, 11-6, and then I had the Eagles going 12-5 or 13-4. I mean, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. But I mean, we'll see. That's just my opinion. I mean, as a Giant fan, if the Cowboys end up not having a good year, I mean, I'm not going to lose sleep over, being wrong about them finishing 11-6. So, but yeah, I think that's doable, 11-6. And it might not go exactly how, I said, but I think that definitely can happen. The Cowboys finish 11-6. But yeah, I mean, some of their matchups that you could look forward to against the Ravens. I mean, the Week 1 matchup against the Browns could be a good game. Of course, Week 5 against the Steelers. I mean, those two teams have clashed in Super Bowls before. The Lions, of course. I mean, I know the 49ers kind of own them, but that's a game to look forward to as well. Against the Eagles twice. I mean, the Battle of Texas, with the Texans coming into Jerry World, that should be a fun game. Joe Burrow coming in. Yeah, so there's some fun games. I just don't like how the Giants are playing them on Thanksgiving. I mean, why? Not only for Giant fans, but just for football fans in general. Why are you putting the Giants on Thanksgiving? Why are you giving them that spotlight? I mean, I guess it's more for the Cowboys because, the Cowboys and the Lions, they play on Thanksgiving every year. And, the NFL wants to give the Cowboys a soft game so they could showcase their talent on full display on Thanksgiving. And it's a guaranteed win. Whereas the Lions, they're trying to end their losing streak on Thanksgiving. And then the Cowboys, I'm trying to remember, when was the last time? I think the last time the Cowboys did lose, yeah, the last time the Cowboys lost on Thanksgiving, I think it was against the Raiders a couple of years ago because they destroyed the Commanders, and then they beat the Giants a couple of years before that, and then the Raiders was the year before that. The Raiders won that overtime game. So, but yeah, that's the Cowboys schedule. I say they're going 11-6. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think the Cowboys record is going to be based off of this schedule? So before we go into our next break, just want to remind you guys once again, I almost clicked on the wrong thing. To tip or donate and get your comments recognized, make sure to go to the following link. That is GSMCPodcast.net. Again, that really helps the show, makes the show more interactive between myself, the host, and you guys, the viewers. Again, that is GSMCPodcast.net. And as always, it is displayed on the ticker at the bottom of the show segment down below. So when we come back from our second break of the show, we are going to talk about Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. We'll talk about Rodgers, some comments he made, how he feels currently, and him ready to embrace pressure going into the 2024 season. So with that being said, stick around, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Football Podcast.